Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know.
Do it for Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, it's my favorite show. Do it for Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, big hopes and dreams as we cover our kings. Never cover the kingdom, but we loving our kings. And we covered your prayers as we doing our thing. Big Deuce with the par, Lil Mo on the screen. Solo or together, still do it for team. Never switch up for $1 or revenue stream. So we always got each other, balance out the beam. Deuce and Mo, and that's the end of the thing. So do it for Deuce and Mo.
We are live! Happy Sunday night, Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan, and I am so back. Remember the last time we did a podcast? I was on NyQuil?
Oh, yeah.
Deuce is back! How we doing?
To the Kings.
How do you feel?
So much better, dude.
Oh, well then who cares about anything else?
So much. I feel alive again, despite the fact that the Kings are 14 and 48. How we doing?
Okay.
Oh my God.
Appreciate you guys joining us late. Morgan had to drive back from San Francisco. She is here, so that's why we're starting a little bit later. But it's going to be a late week because on Tuesday, an 8 p.m. tip-off for Kings Suns.
Jesus.
That game is going to be aired nationally on the Cock and on
The cock.
and then locally on NBC Sports California.
Yeah, but 8
p.m. tip-off.
Give me a hell yeah.
Stay up late, kids. We get to stay up late to watch the Kings and Suns.
Give me a hell yeah.
We'll be there. We'll be up. Join us if you want, or join us the next morning.
Yeah. Hey, we're here no matter
Yeah.
when you want us, okay? Appreciate you basketball sickos joining us late on a Sunday night after the Kings got clapped again and now are 14 and 48. So we're going to talk a little bit about what went down in the game, give some love to Nique Clifford, look ahead, and then we're going to hit some NBA topics too.
Hell yeah.
It's a busy time in the league.
There's a lot more exciting stuff going
Yeah,
around.
there's like a month and a half left of the season. And there's
Yeah.
so much happening around the league outside of Sacramento too. We'll hit
March
on.
1st.
All right. If you haven't done it yet, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. All it does is help our channel grow so sickos around the basketball universe see what we do too. Let's start it. Do some welcome down. 3, 2, 1. Hit my music.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.
Hey, welcome into the Deuce and Mo podcast. Recording this late on a Sunday night, and if you can't tell, I sound great again.
I love that you make it directly about yourself. Like everyone's going to remember that for an entire podcast episode, Deuce Mason was sick. Like this is what men do. This is what men do. It's very fits the stereotype.
I don't remember much of last podcast.
Okay.
I imagine it was
a
still
cold.
pretty good.
You had a cold. A cold.
I think it was deeper than that, but I'm here living and talking about it tonight. The Kings were on the road, wrapping up a road trip in LA against the Lakers, and it wasn't pretty.
No.
It was not pretty. The Kings had 20 turnovers, turning into 27 points. They knocked down 6 of 26 from 3, and the Lakers knocked down 18 threes. Nique Clifford was a massive bright spot, but ultimately the Kings head back home with an L. They lose 128 to 104, now 14 and 48 on the season, holding on to the worst record in the NBA. This podcast presented by our friends here at Santebo Vineyards and Winery. I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan. How you doing, Mo?
I'm good. Sunday evening. You know what was fun about today? About it being a late game in San Francisco. Usually when the Kings are on the road, you know, you get a lot of those East Coast starts, like 4 p.m., whatever. Love that. It's hard sometimes when it's on the road and it's in Portland, it's
Yeah.
a, LA game or whatever. I feel good. Like, got to San Francisco at a decent time, watched some shitty basketball, and got back at a decent time. And now I'm doing my favorite thing. So
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. And it went bad pretty fast. The Kings got down 10-2, timeout. Ends up being 36-18 after the first quarter.
Yeah, that was bad.
Kings bounced back in the second, outscoring them, but then the Lakers outscore them in the third and fourth. And it's funny because last game, it was the Kings with a massive first quarter in Dallas, and that allowed them to set the tone and win the game. It was flip-flopped in this one tonight. Russell Westbrook did return to the Sacramento Kings. He was back in the starting lineup. They started Russ, Nique, DeMar DeRozan, Precious Achiuwa, and Maxime Raynaud. But the same guys who have been out are still out. This is a really bad team, and what you saw was sloppiness.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to start positive.
Oh, are you?
I'm going to start positive.
Okay.
Everyone knows like the shortcomings, so let's just talk with the good headline of the night. Nique Clifford, who finished tonight with 26 points. He played 42 minutes in this game. He was 11 of 18 shooting, 1 of 2 from 3, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists in this game tonight.
Favorite thing about that stat line? The efficiency. The fact that he was efficient with his shooting. Something that we've been wanting to see down this stretch. It wasn't so much like, being efficient with his shooting. It was consistency, right? And coming off that Dallas game, I thought he did such a good job with just being aware on the floor, being decisive, being confident.
Missed shots, but it was like, you know what? You're shooting.
Yep. And that was it. That was like, we were like, okay, no, like if you can knock a few down, great. You took a step. You started knocking them down, but like, Deuce, there's so many moments in this one where he could have swung the ball to Russ, to DeMar. No, he ripped through and he went down into the paint. Went downhill. Didn't matter who was closing out on him. He was going to be aggressive with his rip throughs and go. And I saw that all night long in those 42 minutes from him.
I thought he really liked the matchup with Luka. He saw Luka on him in the perimeter, and he went, I'm going to attack this guy because I can get by him.
Yes.
And if there's one real big weakness with this Lakers team is defensively, the rim protection's been an issue for them too.
Yeah.
And on the perimeter as well. And Nique took full advantage of that. I thought he had some great moves getting past Luka on closeouts. He's doing a really good job of attacking closeouts. And you're right. That rip through, put it on the floor, and go make something happen, whether it's at the rim or in that mid-range. He also had 3 shots tonight from the perimeter with his toe on the line. 3 of them that went in.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching the game going, that's a 3. I'm like, wait, he didn't get credit for a 3? He had 3 of those.
Uh-oh. Is he learning from DeMar?
Do not learn from DeMar DeRozan. Watch your fucking foot, dude.
That's funny.
Yeah, I just like the aggressiveness. He had another play with Maxime Raynaud. Those two are building chemistry too, right? Like those two in the 2-man game, the side pick and roll, where a couple of times he did find Max, but there was one time he didn't find Max. They sent the 2 guys on him, and he still attacked and hit a floater over DeAndre Ayton.
Here's the thing with all of this. I think there's people who listen every single night. You join us, you know exactly the pulse, what's up. There's going to be some people that hear this and go, but what does it mean? But what does that even mean? Like, I still don't feel confident in Nique Clifford yet, and I don't feel like this and that, whatever. What it truly means, I guess, right now is if you look around the league and you look at other teams and how they've been able to develop some of their draft picks and develop some of the young guys, it's through being bad in NBA experience. I think a good example would be like OKC. They've been able to put their guys even when SGA was injured and everything else, and they're still losing and figuring out their things. They're able to give guys NBA experience, those minutes to see if they can play, if they can grow off it, develop, whatever. And that's just what is the most important part for these guys down this stretch, is that no one's in their way because everyone's dead, hurt, injuries, surgery, whatever. No one's in their way. So they're getting the experience in the minutes, whether they're bad, good, consistent, confident, all the different things. We get to see them grow along the way and see if it is going to translate into something, even if they're not getting the same minutes next season.
And to that point, if Keegan Murray is healthy right now, Nique Clifford is not starting.
Nope. No.
That's another topic because he still should have been, even if Keegan was here.
Ding,
but that's
ding,
a different
ding.
topic we'll save for later on.
Yes.
Yeah. It's about getting those minutes and just seeing the growth. And I think with Nique, you're seeing the confidence build. He just looks more comfortable out there. And I think the other thing that has shifted, last 2 games in particular, DeMar DeRozan has taken a serious step back when it comes to, one, his minutes. Tonight was more of a blowout, so I think that had something to do with it. But also just the shot diet. Like, DeRozan took 5 shots tonight.
Yeah.
He took 2 free throws. He had 8 assists. And I don't know if it's a shift that he's just like, hey, I have to make this shift. Or they talk to him to be like, hey, can you look to be more of a facilitator right now with this group? Like, we're really trying to develop Nique and get him some run. Whatever it is, it's been very beneficial to Nique. And it's also, hey, Nique, you're getting this opportunity now. You have to be aggressive and look for yours. And I think you're seeing more of that from him, where at other times in the season when he got those opportunities to play with some of the vets, he was so passive.
So passive. And that was one of the plays I actually broke down in the pregame show was a few offensive plays from Dallas, just watching Nique Clifford. And one of the plays, shot clock winding down, like 8 seconds left on the shot clock. And near the half court line, you have DeMar on one side and you have Nique on one side. Instead of Nique passing it off to DeMar and saying, all right, go get us a bucket, late shot clock, you just see, I don't know if DeMar for sure, but it looked like, or maybe I want it to be, DeMar giving him the wave, like, go, do your thing. Made a move, went downhill, got it off the glass. It was perfect. It was beautiful. I mean, that's what we saw in that last game. And then to kind of see it again tonight and to see DeMar with that with those shot attempts, like you said, is it on purpose? Is it something that has been talked about? Hopefully we get a practice here this week or something so we can, kind of ask DeMar about it. But either way, he's such a pro. And I just love that he is shifting his part of his game at the end of this season.
And I think throughout the season, he's done a pretty good job of that. But now it's more of an emphasis. Like, let's get these guys. Of course, when the Kings are this shorthanded, DeMar could be like, let me take 20 shots.
Absolutely.
But it's not. It's what's best for the future of the team.
And it's like you just said, yes, he's had the balance of it throughout, like, I would say most of this season. I just think it's taking another shift now with all these other bodies out.
Couple of things with Nique too. There was one play in the second half where it was in transition. He had a pump fake on Luka, and Luka tried to body him.
Okay.
Nique went through that contact.
Oh, I think I
drove to
remember.
the basket, and then Kennard came in and bumped him. He absorbed the contact and finished. And I was like, that's just a tough bucket. He had another one late where LaRavia was on him in the perimeter, and he's pushing in transition. Crosses left, spins right for the score. He has some really nice moves.
Yes. And it's like, it's just all about him mentally knowing that he can take in that he belongs in. It's funny because he even did say after the game, because he was asked about like playing against LeBron and Luka, and he's like, it's so cool, but like, I know, or I feel like I belong out there. So like, it is so cool to know that I'm also playing with these guys, but I feel like I belong out there. And like, it's nice to see him putting it into action, but then you're hearing it into words after the game as well.
So 42 minutes for him tonight.
I'll take it.
No, and that's literally what this stretch of games is about.
Yep.
It was game 62 tonight, right? 19 games left. Like, get these opportunities.
20.
Well, I think game 62 was tonight, right? So, you still have 20 more. You're right. All right, my bad. All right. I was saying game 63. Whatever.
It's okay, almost.
Yeah. You knew what I meant.
Yeah, I did.
Was it worth correcting in that moment?
Yeah, just because it is
1920. You get it.
You would be like, after the podcast, like, oh man, I got this number wrong. Okay. Oh, I hate myself.
20 games
there
ago.
Thank you.
Anyway, these are the type of things we want to see.
Yeah.
And so, and even tonight, I know I was joking about the long twos, but literally, he was 1 of 2 from 3. He should have had 4 threes tonight.
Well, that would add to the Kings' 3-pointers that they didn't have.
My goodness.
6 of 26.
I'm so used to it now, it doesn't faze me.
It doesn't phase.
I knew they were going to be a bad shooting, a 3-point shooting team before the season.
Uh-huh.
It's only gotten worse now when Levine is out.
Correct.
And Keegan's not around.
Mm-hmm.
You know who's taken the most threes on the team this year?
It's Russ, right?
Russell Westbrook's taken the most threes on the team this year.
What did he do tonight? 1 of 7 from 3-point land.
Westbrook is doing some incredible things right now. And you go back to the Houston game, he took 14 shots in the first quarter of that game, 18 shots in the first half. Tonight, he played 22 minutes and took 16 shots. Man.
Yeah. It's really hard. That's really hard to watch sometimes.
I'm looking at his totals real fast with his 3-point totals this year in Sacramento.
As you're looking for that, 1 of 7 tonight from 3-point land, 6 of 16 from the field, 14 points in the starting lineup. Yeah.
So Russell Westbrook this year has taken 334 3-pointers. Okay.
Who's the next one?
That's the most he has taken.
Oh, I see. This is for his.
Since the 2018-19 season. That's the most he's taken this season since then.
Bro.
When he was with his final year in OKC.
What? Wait, what is his percentage on the year now from 3?
30. Well, it dipped tonight. He's at like 33%.
Okay.
Year. So it's kind of dipped back to, what we thought it would be. And I would love to get to your question about who's next in 3-point attempts this year.
Oh, you're going to get to that too? Thank you for doing that.
Let's just bring that up while we're looking.
Yeah. No, I like that. As you look for that too, it's funny because I think even at the beginning of this Kings year, we were looking at things going like, hey, Russ is making them. So, you need some 3-point shooting on this team. So it's good that you have someone that's stretching the floor and starting to make them. What?
Okay. So Westbrook's number 1 at 341. Mm-hmm. Levine in 39 games, 254. Malik's at 243. And then the next guy is Schroder at 166. So that's what it looks. I mean, part of that it is misleading because guys have been out. But
sure.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of shots. I think with Russ too, in that Houston game, I was looking around going, who else is going to take some shots? But, he had a play tonight where he's, again, pushing into the paint, which I love. All right, push deep into the paint. But when you get deep in the paint and there's nothing else happening around, like no movement, and maybe that was part of the reason he did this. He went out to the corner, Aiden kind of comes with him, and he launches a 3, dribbles and launches a 3. It's not a good shot. It wasn't a good shot. Everyone's just standing around.
Mm-hmm.
They need to figure that out.
Can I just tell you, it's where it's so much worse than you even think. It's not only that style of play is just not fun to watch as someone consuming the game, the product, but Deuce, for these players, when you don't trust that you're going to get the ball back or you can't find a flow, even on a bad team, like I remember this type of teammate. I remember this type of team, especially because the high school program that I was with was just like, it sucked. There's no identity, whatever. So like, I remember playing on shitty teams and with like that type of player, that type of personality, Chuck City, all the different things, fuck it kind of mentality. And they still think they're so good and they're so confident in themselves. So it's not just like, they're just like, whatever. What that does to the entire team's morale, especially like when you're setting a tone from the start of the game, it's not good. And you just mentioned it. Last game, Russ was out, but it's not about Russ being out. He didn't start the game. He didn't set the tone. The tone of the game was set with these guys pushing the shit out of the basketball. The ball was moving around the perimeter. You're seeing assist numbers, all the different things. We saw 30 assists still tonight, but
it's a great number.
It's all about how that first quarter started. And it wasn't just like, oh, because the Lakers were making their threes and the Kings weren't. It was truly the energy, the flow of the ball on the offensive end. And I just felt like Russ, his turnovers, and then everyone was turning over the ball. It was just not good. I'm not putting the blame on him. I'm just saying it's just not fun at this point of the year.
I think with him, it's one, when you don't have an identity, it is tough
Yeah.
as a team, right?
Yeah.
I think sometimes when he's out there with the younger guys, he sees things before they do.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, he's a high-level processor.
Yes,
Absolutely.
okay. And so, like, the timing just isn't there all the time.
For sure. It's not necessarily like even his fault, but it's like you're leading things.
Right. Yeah, there's just a disconnect, and that goes to the larger thing. If you have more of an identity and everyone's like connected, it maybe moves a little bit better.
Yeah, and that's why there was success with him coming off the bench with Denver and what he could still contribute and what his role was with that team. Like, he's going to have his chaotic moments and he's going to have his badass moments where he's like just looking so athletic out there.
Dude,
like,
the one
do
he had
you
tonight
age?
where he drove baseline, that reverse he had, you're
Yes.
like, how the
So
hell
crafty.
did you do that? Yeah.
No, and it's not even to like, I don't think it's right to like use that to shit on him or throw shade or anything like that, because I know that's what he gets throughout his career and throughout his life. But I do have to bring that up as a serious thing at the start of games, setting the tone, especially with that trust and the energy and the flow on the offensive end, where he hasn't been good with that as of late.
The other thing too is just the shot attempts. Like, you just want those to be much more balanced,
Distributed
you know? And
other
kinda
places.
Like, look, DeMar's doing it.
Yeah.
Like, you can too. And
Yeah.
and I think that's the fairest point.
And here's something that Russ is great with. Getting some of his bigs in the two-man game.
Oh, yeah.
And when he does that with Max and they have that connection, I think Nique's been able to take a lot from that. But like, keep doing it. Like, keep finding that flow with that, because then it also allows other people to run these different actions. I think one of the first actions of the game was Nique setting a pin down on Precious's guy, and Precious comes up to the free throw line. Nice little mid-range jumper, just gets the ball wide open. It was beautiful. And I just like see these little actions being run even in a half-court set. And I'm like, yeah, run through them. Like, don't get chaotic. Try and work with your big in the two-man game. And I just think things could be more fun.
Maxime Raynaud tonight, 16 points, 13 rebounds. He was 8 of 10 in 33 minutes, had 6 turnovers tonight. I went back and when I was waiting for you to get back from San Francisco, I went back and was watching the turnovers. One of them was an offensive foul, a couple of tough passes. He had one in transition that was not very good, and then just not being strong enough with the ball at times. And I think that's just with him, like, you better hold on to that ball. Like, I think he had a mismatch with Marcus Smart on it. Marcus Smart, who's a crafty veteran, former defensive player of the year, just poke that shit away.
Yeah.
You know, or down in the paint, they're coming at the ball. Like, you got to be strong with that.
Yeah, there was a few times when that happened. I mean, obviously it translated into all those turnovers, but I think you're exactly right. It's just like having more awareness of where some of those bodies are, or like if these active hands are swiping down, how can you be stronger, you know, and like make your move a little bit quicker, be more decisive with it as well.
And they got carved up a little bit in the pick and roll. I mean, you know, as the big that's coming out, and Luka is just like splitting the defense. Not ideal. And then
No.
the backside help, you're like, oh, that's going to be DeMar DeRozan there. Yeah.
There's
So-
some ugly times.
Yeah, the defense, not very good. Lakers end up shooting 50% this game. They knocked down 18 of 39 from 3. Luka had 28 points, 9 assists, 10 of 16 shooting. LeBron had 24. How about the play by Luka when he was like, that was that second half? He was like falling to the ground, kept his dribble alive, got back up, spun around, and like fading away three-pointer as the shot clock was winding down.
Yeah, he does shit like that.
The passing, too.
It's
Oh,
I
my
mean,
God.
His passing is so and that's why it's like it's so hard sometimes, because when I talk about the Lakers, their style, you see them dominate in a night like this, and you see a lot of fun, like more fun basketball from them. They're in a good place on a night like this. But there's other nights that they're taking on better teams, and Luka becomes just so ball dominant, and he can make those great passes, but he's not looking to make that pass first. Like, his thought process is like, I can score on this person or I can go or whatever it is. And so on a night like this, when he's just like making the right move, making the right pass, processing it quick, being decisive with it, it's just a prettier style of basketball.
I'm not high on them.
No.
Obviously, the trio of LeBron, Reeves, and Luka, like they can be explosive. They all average over 20 a game. I mean, Luka's at like 30 plus this year. But you're like, do you trust like DeAndre Ayton, Jackson Hayes, their bench? Are they going to get stops? Like, who are they stopping in the playoffs?
I know. It's weird. Like someone like even like Jake LaRavia, I was like expecting to be a little bit more this year. Like seems like they have good. I don't know if you want to call them just role players like Rui. Like they have solid pieces. I think even trading for Luke Kennard and getting more shooting and everything. Like I thought smart. Love it. Love to see
that
it.
guy was good tonight.
Yeah. And I mean, what did he finish with?
11 points, 5 assists. He was 4 of 10.
I mean,
3 of 5 from 3, but he was just nonstop moving.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I guess that's my point though. Like when I look at this team, I'm like, I don't get why it's not working, but I think I do. And I think it's because when you do have so many alphas or whatever position you want to call like Luka and LeBron together, and we remember seeing both those guys out with just Austin Reeves cooking, and it's like, oh, like, well, how do you make that work when they come back? And you see it happen sometimes. Like they're pros.
Butcher Barrel player of the game, Nique.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Positive. Love it.
Yeah, why would we not?
No, you're right. At this point of the year, yes. Hell yeah, it's Nique Clifford. Congratulations to him in his 42 minutes, 26 points on 11 of 18 shooting.
That was good to see. He's our Butcher and Barrel player of the game. If you have not been to Butcher and Barrel yet, what are you waiting for? Go before a game, a concert, a date night. It's literally a block away from Golden One Center.
Yeah, their winter menu is going bye-bye. And so they have happy hour. They have their before game deals going on, $39 for Wagyu burger, a shot and a beer before you head to a game. Or if you just want to hang out with a whole bunch of Kings fans before a game, it's a beautiful bar, amazing food.
Appreciate their support of the podcast. It's funny how one night can change things, by the way. Just a couple of nights ago in Dallas, Precious Achua and Daquan Plowden combined 6 of 6 from 3. Tonight, they were 0 for 5 from downtown.
Yeah. It's so what a different night. And I mean, that's the type of role that Precious is going to play in this league. Like he's not expected to be the guy to get you 25 points every single night. Like his role is he's going to have some of those special nights being in that role. But sometimes when he's asked to do more and there's just different matchups that don't work for him either.
I'm really curious to see what this next stretch is going to look like for the Kings, because you're looking at the schedule. Yes, they've got the Suns coming up this week, but the Pacers are coming to town. You got the Nets still twice. You got the Utah Jazz as well. And you're going, why the hell are you mentioning those teams? Because it's the bottom of the West, or excuse me, the bottom of the NBA. It's pretty tight. We're going to talk about that in a second. This podcast is always presented by our friends over at Sentivo Vineyards and Winery.
Yum, yum, yum. Some of the best wine ever. You can go get some bottles at sentivovineyards.com. You can also check out their new tasting room in Suisun Valley. It is absolutely stunning. And as the weather keeps getting better.
And it's so good right now.
Oh, it's so good. You got to head out there. They're seriously the best family. They're all Kings fan, and they all make the best wines. Go check it out. sentivovineyards.com.
Also presented by our friends over at
Medic Ambulance. Woo-hoo-hoo. We've teamed up with Medic Ambulance to trust a name in emergency medical services across Northern California. Medic Ambulance has set the standard in emergency medical services for over 45 years now. Learn more at medicambulance.net.
Appreciate their support of the podcast. Morgan, the standings have not been pretty. I actually went down a dark spot today.
Oh, really? It was so pretty outside. How'd you do that?
I went back for some reason.
Okay.
In between games. I think it was like a halftime of a game. I was like, what I look like emotionally after that play-in loss to the Mavs? And then I went back to the play-in loss to the Pelicans. And just hearing our conversations for a minute.
Whoa. Wait, like you went back to our podcast?
Yeah, just to see for a second.
into the video podcast.
Yeah.
And what did you look like?
The Pelicans one, I was definitely shook. I think the Mavs one was more of the like, what a year. This was going on. Where the Pelicans one was so fascinating just to hear how we were feeling after they lost their 6th straight one. Anyway, I at the end of it, I was just like, Morgan, I am with you. Like, if I'm going to have one perspective on one good perspective on this season, even though it's a big disappointment, is at least like we're talking about winning basketball and we're not talking about a 22 win season. I literally said that. Like, you remember how bad it was talking about 22 win seasons? Well, the Kings right now are sitting at 14-48. That's the worst record in the NBA. The Pacers are right next to them, though, 15-46. They've lost 6 in a row. The Nets, meanwhile, they're at 15-45. They have lost 8 in a row. The Wizards at 16-43 have lost 4 in a row, and the Utah Jazz at 18-42 have lost 5 in a row. So the race to the bottom, it seems like, in the NBA, and the Kings, ironically enough, see those teams again other than the Wizards. Yeah, they've got Utah, the Nets twice, and next week they actually play the Bulls and Pacers. The Bulls just snapped like an 10-game slide or something like that. I hate how I'm feeling about things right now with this, Morgan. Literally today, I was watching Pacers Grizzlies like it was like, hey, dude, if the Pacers win, this is great. I hate that. Like, I'm rooting so hard for the Pacers, who, by the way, we're not playing anybody. The Grizzlies weren't either. Grizzlies end up running away with a victory tonight or today. And then the Cavs were taking on the Nets. Should have been a close game. The Nets were winning. And I'm going, come on, Brooklyn, let's go. And then, of course, the Cavs go on and win that game. But the point I'm bringing to the table here is just like the tanking extremes we're seeing. And I'm sure there are some legitimate injuries with some of these teams, but my goodness, from Washington to Indiana to Brooklyn, they are not playing any of their guys heavy minutes. And it's not just when they're getting blown out, it's heavy minutes no matter what. If I looked at the Pacers tonight, it ended up being a blowout, but it was a game going into the fourth quarter. The most minutes played tonight, Peter played 36. Okay. Jones played 32. But other than that, everyone's in the 20s. Talk about balanced minutes no matter what. Okay. Same thing when you look at a team like the Washington Wizards. They're playing like they're young guys. Mm-hmm. Keyshawn George is playing 20 minutes a night. Koulibaly's playing like 20 minutes a night. That's all they're playing. They're young guys. It would be like if they had Nique Clifford, they would be playing him 20 minutes in the starting lineup. I
heard Michael Malone on the broadcast today with Ryan Rucco calling the game Knicks Spurs.
Okay.
And by the way, fantastic. He does such a fantastic job in that role. Such a good color analyst. And he was like talking about like Knicks when they were up, and he was just like, oh, this is about the time. Like, if you're bringing out these players, you're taking these players out, you don't want anyone to get, like, he made it a point to say it. And I remember just the way that he was saying it, I was like, God, that's always interesting to me. Like, when a coach really feels like that, it's interesting hearing it from Michael Malone. And so my whole point to this is, I guess when you're at this point of the season and you're doing these games, how you're doing them, when it is one of your younger guys, and they are already established and you know what they're about, you don't ever want to be that coach that left them in a random game at the end of a 15-win season and they got hurt in that game playing 36 minutes. This is just something that like I thought about today because I've been with you. I've been talking about some of these younger guys not playing. I think it's ridiculous, But now I'm like getting to this point where it's been happening for, seems like from 28 games on, and now we're 20 games left in the season. And I'm thinking maybe that's more of the mindset than just tank, got to lose no matter what.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I don't buy that at all. I think it's literally these teams are going to as great of lengths as they possibly can to maintain a position in a lottery in
Okay.
a draft that could be awesome. I mean, we're not even mentioning Washington, like just sitting Trae Young and Anthony Davis down the stretch and all the stuff going on with Utah. I think that's what's it. And that's why with the Kings, you got to play the game a little bit here. And when you play the Pacers, if they're sitting Siakam, if they're sitting all these guys, you have to sit DeMar or you're playing them or you go, we are playing you just 20 minutes, no matter what. Even if it's a close game, you're playing 20 minutes. Russ, you're playing 20 minutes. That's what it has to be.
You say that, but Doug's also not trying to lose games.
That's fine. And if he's not trying to lose games, I would say, well, okay, you've lost 48 of them already, all right? So you're on your way to losing 50 plus games this year.
Yeah.
So it would have to be from the top. It's got to be like Scott and Doug on the same page, but you have to be the worst thing that could happen this year. Mm-hmm. The worst thing that could happen this year.
Really? It hasn't happened?
No, it hasn't.
Okay.
It would happen in May. Mm-hmm. Is if you somehow finish with the 4th worst record in the league and then you're picking like 10th. That would be the thing about this going through this season and picking like 9 or 10. It would be awful.
And it's a lottery at the end of the day.
I understand, but
it could still happen, even if you're I know.
Again, if you finish with the worst record, you can go no further than 5.
Yes.
So that's my whole point. It's like if these other teams are doing it, you have to play the game a little bit. And my whole point to that is you are going to go head to head with these teams coming up here. Brooklyn twice. You got Utah and you got Indiana. Like that's 4 games.
Just like talking about this, I'm just going to be honest, like it makes me anxious.
Yeah, I know.
Like it
Same.
actually like makes me like shut down a little and like feel anxious because I don't want to play this game. I don't want to play. I don't, and again, I ultimately don't want them winning these games down the stretch because of this shit. And even just like having,
and I hate having that mentality. Yes,
I hate
I'm with
that
you.
I even have to like
It's
say that and
stupid.
feel it's so stupid. It's not, that's just not how sports should be played. That's not how you grow up. It's like we always talk about like evolve with sports. This is not the good part to evolve with sports. If anything, sports need to evolve with all this shit. And Adam Silver needs to take a look at everything and go, oh, hey, so many fans around the league are watching literal G League games, but paying NBA prices at the end of their seasons for the last 25 games of seasons. Maybe we shouldn't play the last 25 games of seasons and we should shorten seasons so then that shit doesn't happen.
I hear you.
Because it's like because there is going to come a time where it's the integrity of the game and the product and you're not going to, like, it's the long game. Oh, just because you're still making money now, it doesn't mean that you're going to be making money in 15 years from now on the same concept.
And just so you know, Morgan, if they somehow finish with the 4th worst record in the league, they would still have a 12.5% chance of getting the number 1 pick. And then the worst they could finish would be 8th. But still, it's all scary. It's all scary. I think we're going to be on edge no matter what. It's just,
but they could land. Let's like even. We could play this game forever, Deuce, and they could be in that 3rd spot. Darren Peterson's right there in that 3rd spot. What do you do?
You take him. You go, let's go. And then we regret it when Caleb Wilson turns into a star.
And not only that, you regret it when he can never actually play basketball again.
Or it all comes together in Sacramento. So I know.
It's just, and that's just like, there's so much luck involved, not just where you pick, but also how you pick. You know, we always say you got to pick the right guy, and there's also luck involved in that. But at the same time, there's a lot of skill that comes with that too.
We'll see how it plays out coming up. I'm going to be fascinated to see how the Kings tinker with things down the stretch, especially in those critical games. What would be your J Street Dental moment of the game? I'm going to J Street Dental tomorrow, actually, get my teeth all cleaned.
Oh, I'm so anxious now. My J Street Dental moment of the game.
Was it when Malik Monk collided with Kleba, and then they started doing some talking, and then Russ started going at Maxey?
That was fun. Yeah. That was good. I really liked the move that Nique had at the top of the key when Luka was closing out on him and he just attacked the closeout, had a floater in the paint. I mean, like, I would just say Nique. Nique was my J Street Dental moment of the game.
He also had a great pass in the first quarter early in a 2-man action with Maxime Raynaud.
Yes.
Threw a bullet to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had 26 points. Yeah.
Wonderful to see. Enriching lives and enhancing smiles. Head to jstreetdentalgroup.com. You can also check out their sister office, Sacramento River Dental, all run by amazing people. Deuce will be there tomorrow. Go sign up tomorrow while Deuce is there.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
As I'm getting all cleaned up. J Street Dental, they're the best. If you've not done it yet, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. We appreciate the basketball sickos hanging with us tonight, talking some hoops. NBA, Morgan.
A lot of shit going on
There's
in the NBA.
a lot going on. Jonathan Kuminga, watch, dude.
Oh.
Jonathan Kuminga made his debut with the Hawks a few games back. He's played 3 games. 2 against Washington and 1 against Portland tonight.
Okay.
In those 3 games, averaging 21 points a game, 67% shooting, 55% from 3, almost 8 rebounds, and over 3 assists per game.
Feeling good if you're a Hawks fan.
And some unbelievable dunks tonight.
Feeling good if you're a Hawks fan. Not feeling good if you're a Warriors fan.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you're a Warriors fan, if you're bugged by it at this point. I'm sure you probably are a little bit. At the same time, I would say they did play Washington twice.
Still, I mean, you see the numbers and of course you're going to feel it a little bit. I talked to one person at the NBC studios that is a Warriors fan, and it was funny because she actually brought up to me, she was like, do you see what the numbers Keon Ellis has been putting up with the Cavs since he's been with them?
Yeah.
And she like showed me this tweet. And I'm like, dude, I know, and like we were talking about it, and she's like, it's okay. I'm seeing it with Jonathan Kuminga just the last couple of games. And I was like, the difference is though with Keon, like the timeline here for the Kings, like he would have just been whatever, miscast and put into a role where he wouldn't even be doing the things that he's doing right now,
which is
possibly.
sad. Yeah.
Right.
Because if you really think about it, if you were just like, you somehow got rid of all the vets, and you'd had Keon here still, and he was out there, you could have a compelling young team going into next year. But whatever, he's gone. It is what it is.
What it is. And so,
Well, let's talk about Kuminga for a second.
Yeah.
Man. It's seeing some of the stuff early on with Atlanta is the reason why I wanted the Kings to try to get him. And they tried. Ultimately, the Warriors would not do a deal with Sacramento. But, dude, the athleticism. He's playing free. He looks like a different guy. And it's 3 games in. We'll see how it shakes out when the competition increases. You're playing some better teams. But if you're the Hawks, it's the exact type of gamble you take. And what was the gamble? You took Porzingis, who can't stay on the floor, who just missed his 5th straight game because of this illness that he's been battling.
I know.
Like, he was not even a factor with you. And now you take a shot at a young guy who has upside, and you're seeing the upside on full display. The Hawks announcers today were like, thank you, Warriors.
Dude.
There was fans chanting, thank you, Warriors.
No.
Now,
were they really?
A year from now, we could be making fun of those people because it's like, hey, he's not really doing anything. But it's crazy to see, like, man, here this guy is in a situation where he's being unleashed a little bit. And it's not just, they're losing by 20. Like, they're winning, too.
Dude, and it's always that change of scenery, the newness. Like, you are sometimes going to see this from a player that his growth was being stunted. He was rotting on the bench for the most part, all the different things. He's feeling good. He's feeling joy. He's feeling happy. Yes, it's exactly what you're saying. Are we going to see this next year? I don't need to question it right now. I'm going to enjoy this time seeing him flourish, seeing him enjoy playing the game the right way. And me too. Like, we'll get there when we get there, and if we get there. And I hope it all does work out for him.
And also, everyone wants to, like, I guess the Kuminga thing was polarizing because it seemed like there were people like, he sucks. He can't figure it out here. If he can't figure it out here, like he's not going to figure it out anywhere.
Right.
He would not be the first NBA player in history to need to go somewhere else to figure it out.
Right.
It happens in this league.
All the time.
It happens so much. I mean, Chris Webber needed a couple of spots, and then he came to Sacramento, and it all came together.
Dude.
And his talent was at a different level than Jonathan Kuminga's.
Different personalities, styles of play, just work in different systems with different coaches. And if you're lucky enough, you get the right system for you. And so, it's this could be the system for him, or it's like you just said, he's still young. He could bounce around the league and then find the perfect home.
Well, shit. I mean, I think he's got an option. They have a team option for next year for him. Mm-hmm. And then after that, he'd be an unrestricted free agent. He has a great year next year. He might be in for a huge payday. Like he bet on himself and it works out. Yeah. We'll see. But interesting to see him come out like swinging.
Absolutely.
You mentioned Keon Ellis. Keon Ellis fractured his finger and he missed a game. Ends up coming back today against Brooklyn. Had 5 blocks and 3 steals tonight. In that win.
Crazy.
And I saw this in 9 games with the Cavs. Keon Ellis has 14 blocks and 15 steals.
Yep. That was the one I think that she had showed me. And she was like, whoa, can you believe this? And I'm like, it honestly doesn't even hurt anymore because I'm like with you. I'm like, it is what it is. And I'm just so happy for him. Like, that's ultimately how I feel for Keon Ellis, being able to, like, show off what he can do, be in this role coming off the bench where he can be the defender he needs to be, have the second line of defense, the trust behind him while he gets up in someone's grill. Like, good for him. I'm very happy for him.
Cavs team's fun, and they're banged up right now. They're kind of scuffling because Harden's had the injury. He ended up coming back, but, Mitchell's been out. Schroder was banged up for a second. Morgan.
Wow.
Schroeder's been a nice lift for them, too.
Yes,
We're watching them the other night, and the Cavs were so shorthanded taking on the Pistons, remember?
Oh, my God.
And
the clutch shots at the end, the clutch takes to the basket, like so much confidence, no chaos, such a floor manager out there when needed.
But it goes back to what we have said for so long, okay? Dennis Schroeder, the player, is not a bad player, okay? But when he signs in Sacramento, he becomes a starting point guard.
Yep.
You need him to play 30 minutes a game. No. Dennis Schroeder's best role, said at the time, he's a stopgap. Like he can start for you sometimes.
Yeah.
But ideally, he's a backup guy.
Yep.
And he's a good backup guy. So there's a reason he bounces around a little bit, but he also goes to a team and can go help a team. And you see his on-ball pressure, his pace. I'm like, Dennis Schroeder, the idea of having Dennis Schroeder in Sacramento wasn't a bad idea. It's just not for that team in that specific role. And it goes to what we've said for so long. We miscast people.
Yep.
And they get miscast and fans think they suck. And then they go somewhere else like, what happened? It's like, no, they don't suck. They're just in a good role with better players and they know how to play basketball.
Watching Dennis Schroeder the other night also pick up 94 feet in these big moments. Again, it goes to when you have the but he has a buy-in from this entire team. This entire Cavs team has a different type of mentality on defense. They have different talent defensively. And so he's able to pick up 94 feet, get up in someone's face, annoy the shit out of them, sometimes draw a foul, kind of be his chaotic self, but other times really cause some other sort of chaos while playing defense that was needed. And if he was doing that with the Kings, which he did a few times, there was no one to help him out on the back line, or anyone else that he could trust was going to help him out the right way. It's not just chemistry, because it's not like he's been playing on this Cavs squad that long.
Yeah.
It's about just having the true buy-in, and obviously, when you have the pieces too, it can work, but it's the buy-in in the system.
It's a fun team, dude.
It's
That
fun.
Cleveland team is going to be a real force. But the East in general is like kind of crazy. Like, let's talk about Boston for a second. They win today. They beat the Sixers 114-98. But there was even talk maybe going into this game, like, could Tatum be back for that game?
Crazy.
It sounds like Tatum is inching closer and closer to returning soon.
Don't drug test him.
He has been playing 5-on-5 This might be one of the most unreal sports stories in modern history when it comes to injuries. Like Achilles is you're out for a year. You lost a year. When he went down in the playoffs, we went, it's over. Okay, we'll see. We'll see you in a while. Shit. They're gonna bring him back this year.
Is that
like.
it sounds like
it seems like it's going that direction. Does that surprise you? Is that worth it? Do you think they should? Is it if he
Deuce? They wouldn't do it unless he was 100%. And I joked about the drug thing because like I don't want to put that on him, especially with all the work, the hard work that he has been putting in mentally and physically into making a comeback and to making a comeback this quick. It's phenomenal. Everybody's body is different. How you heal, how you hurt yourself, all the different things. Look, freak accidents could happen. It could happen again, knock on wood. But like things can happen. And you just have to remember that like he has so many resources and professionals around him that are also helping him on this journey and would not try and fast track anything for no reason.
Well, the Celtics are sitting at 40-20.
Oh my God.
They're the number 2 seed right now in the East. The Knicks are behind them by a game and a half. The Cavs are in the 4 spot. And then there's some separation between the Raptors and of course the Celtics, about 5 games. Yeah, you try to think about, hey, you put him back in the fold. What's that look like? I think the biggest thing with him would be, is he going to be comfortable with the role, right? I can't imagine if he came back that it's like, all right, hey, the switch is on. You're playing every game and you're playing 30 minutes a night. Like, it would have to be him adjusting, almost like the Olympics where he like, didn't play sometimes.
Yeah.
I know he would play, but my point is like, it would be completely different where he shouldered a lot of the load with Boston the last few years. He does have help now. And like the balance is like, can he, he's got to adjust to that role, that different role, but also can he trust his teammates?
Well, but that's if there's someone that seems like they could do that, Jayson Tatum seems like that type of guy. He doesn't seem like an egotistical alpha. This is what I have to do. This is my team. Jump on my back. I think he's willing to say that. Like, hey, I'll lead if you need me to lead, but I'm also down to lead in a different way. And that is adjusting his role, especially in a year like this. Now, it might not always have to be like that next year or whatever else. But this year, it's been all about Jaylen Brown being able to carry this team on his back with.
Well, is that going to be an adjustment for him?
Well, and that's my point, though. That's exactly who needs to keep carrying this team on his back. And Jayson Tatum needs to adjust to that. If anything, you just add another great basketball player to your roster, back to your roster, in your rotation, you're good. It could only benefit you because he doesn't have an ego like some of the other stars in this league.
And this season has provided so much opportunity for other guys with them to increase roles, right? Because it wasn't just losing Tatum. It was like, hey, Horford's out. Okay, what's that mean? Well, it means other bigs get opportunity. Like you had Garza was playing a lot for a stretch, not really in the lineup. Now they got Vucevic. You know, Neemias playing a bigger role. By the way, you ready for this stat line tonight?
Yeah.
Portugal stand the fuck up. Neemias tonight, 27 points, 17 rebounds. He had 10 offensive rebounds, 10 of 14 shooting. He was 7 of 10 at the free throw line. Damn.
Dude, no Joel Embiid playing, I see. But against the Sixers tonight. And I mean, it doesn't matter. Those numbers are intense. And to get that in a big win over Philly, dude, well done. That's
so happy for him.
And that's crazy that Garza's DMP after seeing him play so much. And it's like, that's how much depth they have. And that's how much they have to trust one another, however they make those adjustments, Deuce. I mean, it's Joe Mazzulla. They're champions. They know, like, the majority of them know what's at stake and how to adjust because they've been there before.
So good for Nemi, though. I'm happy for him. That's one of those I'm like, I still just didn't. I mean, I get why the Kings moved on.
Why?
I don't agree with it, but
Right.
I understand it.
For JaVale McGee?
It was, I'm
Just-
guessing on
just
this.
not
It just seemed
trusting?
like Mike Brown probably wanted JaVale McGee, and they're like, oh, let's get a vet. Yeah, we don't trust Nemi. Like, well, yeah, okay. And they like did Nemi a favor to let him go somewhere else. It's like, dude, you drafted him. You
Dude.
had him in your system. He showed growth. And Mike threw him. I'll never forget, Mike Brown threw him in a game. Like, one of the first times he threw him in was against Embiid, like prime Embiid in Philly. And Embiid just fucking went to work.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, this guy's a young player who's like, you're just throwing him in there.
And if you are throwing him in there, then you better give him another
Yeah.
chance. Like, you better let him keep working on his craft and on his game and on his confidence. No, it's and that goes back to, yes, why
Yeah.
these NBA minutes are so big for even these young guys right now.
Yeah.
But go on.
Anyway, that's all. I was just giving some Neemias kid a love. And then the other team in the Knicks that's interesting, I just don't buy them. I'm sorry. I know they're talented, but they've shown a lot of flaws at times this year. And then I watched them play today.
Yeah.
Today, the first game of the day, 10 a.m. tip off. Knicks over the Spurs, ending the Spurs 11-game win streak. They beat them 114-89.
They look good.
Yeah, they look really good.
I mean, okay, what they finished with from three? Because when I was watching, they were making a lot of their 3-point
17
shots.
of 48. They took 48 threes.
Mhm.
Diawara launched 13 threes, okay, in 15 minutes.
Bro,
It's never been done. 13 threes in 15 minutes.
a 3 almost per minute.
Russ is going, wait.
I could
What?
do that.
I could
someone
definitely do that.
Is doing that on a winning team in this league,
Yeah.
then I can do that on a losing team.
No, they looked really good. And of course, knocking down threes helps. And that's right now, the Spurs is, do you trust that they're going to knock down threes on a consistent basis? They end up being 9 of 34.
Oof.
And they shoot 41% in this game. Like, they just,
Wow.
they're not knocking down shots. Fox only had 7 points in the game. It's crazy. The Spurs are playing some of their best basketball of the season, but numbers-wise, if you looked at Fox, you'd be like, really? In the month of February, he's averaging 15 points a game. 50% shooting, but like 31% from three in February.
Roles adjusting.
It's a different role. And I think that's the one thing that's interesting about the Spurs sometimes is like they're almost so balanced with the shots. Like Victor's shots could probably go up.
I mean,
guess-
1 of 7 from 3-point land for Victor.
Yeah. And I also think Castle is still a young guy in this league. Like he's still trying to he's
Grow. He's
I
trying
love
to grow.
him
Yeah.
defensively. So and Dylan Harper can be really explosive, but anyway.
Yeah, and what did Harrison Barnes do? Okay, he only played 17 minutes.
Yeah,
Didn't contribute much.
his role is changing a lot.
Yeah, no, it's but going back to even what you're just saying though about the Knicks overall and just like who are they? Like after you watch a game like today, you're going, oh shit, like who can they be? You know, especially against this Spurs team. But at the same time, I'm with you where like I've seen enough of their games this year in their bad times where I have my doubts.
The Towns dynamic is the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
They don't seem to vibe with Towns. Mike Brown doesn't seem to. Towns doesn't look comfortable in Mike Brown's system.
I know.
And every game there's something he does. You just see the Knicks bench like deflate. Like what? Why is he arguing that? Why did he take that silly offensive foul in that situation? What is he doing?
Dude, the things that it can do to deflate an
Yeah.
entire team.
And you're trying to win a championship.
Yep.
But anyway, the whole point is with the Cavs, the Knicks, the Pistons,
Mm-hmm.
the Celtics, dude, the East is fascinating at the top. And then, of course, we talk about the West all the time. The West is just with the Spurs, with OKC, what they did in that fun game against Denver the other night. Also, Denver lost again to Minnesota at home today, 117-108.
Damn.
Jokic hasn't totally looked great since coming back from injury.
Mhm.
Cam Johnson's given them like nothing this year.
Yeah, that one's tough.
I think he ends up being like 0 for 6 in this game.
When does Gordon come back?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But even, I mean, like obviously their injuries and everything else is really tough. And when you do see them play good basketball, you get it with Denver. It's like you still see it, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they had a chance in that game against OKC too, but God, that game was crazy.
That one.
I need that playoff series so bad.
That's what I was just about to say to you, not even with that one, but even when you were just talking about the East, I'm like, can it be the end of the season?
Dude.
End of the King season? I'm so excited to talk some playoffs. Like, that's going to be some fun basketball. But that game the other day, OKC, Denver, that was intense.
Yeah. My initial reaction when Dort bumped Jokic was like, oh, come on, Dort. And then they gave him the flagrant 2 and ejected him. I was like, oh, that seemed extreme. And then you see the highlights and you're like, okay.
Jokic also threw his body.
He did, but if he gets hurt on that.
Oh, then, I mean, yeah.
Lu Dort is no doubt about it. He doesn't get talked enough about being one of the dirtiest guys in the league.
Yep. Because he's dirty. He's a dirty guy with a smile on his face.
And because
Not
some of
literally,
the
but-
dirty guys with that reputation, like Draymond, they're like assholes to the official.
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks is just
Oh
talking.
my God.
Dort doesn't feel like a talker as much as like he just does the things. Like he's gonna grab you, he's gonna hit you, he's gonna bump you.
And then as soon as Jokic is coming up, he's just like he's this instead of like fighting back. He's just like, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And then his guys come in and Jalen Williams comes in and it's like, no, you're not gonna.
That was crazy. Seeing Jokic's eyes in that situation when they were like holding onto each other's jerseys, Jokic's eyes just
He
popping
looked
out.
like one of his crazy brothers.
Dude.
Like it was one of those moments where I'm like, you don't fuck with crazy, and that's great. And it's a big old man, and he's probably saying, I'm gonna send my brother on you.
Overcommitter in a chat says, Tari Eason did the same thing and took Vince Williams out for the year. Yeah,
Oh,
Vince
that
Williams tearing his
sucks.
ACL. That was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And so
Oh.
my initial reaction was like, I don't know if you toss him. But honestly,
fair.
after seeing it, like, I'm like, no, you know what?
Fine.
Toss him. You have to send a message
Yeah.
in that moment. Like, don't do that shit.
The Tari Eason one, that's honestly like great point bringing that up because no, it's very true. It's like those are even when I first saw Deuce was showing me the Tari Eason one, and I remember when I first saw the bump, I'm like, what? I don't get like that's not like he just barely bumped him, but like when you're doing that, catching someone off guard like that,
Unnecessary.
it's just like yeah, because it can lead to a season-ending injury or something else dangerous, especially with the way that these guys move.
It was a great game, though. And
Oh,
I like the
so
chippiness.
fun.
I feel like we're getting more and more chippiness around the league right now. You turn on games, there's like guys getting into it a lot. And I think that's good for the game.
Me too. I love me some drama. Love me some drama.
The last thing I wanted to bring up, too, the NBA's All Access broadcast. I don't know if you guys saw this. Pistons Cavs on Friday night.
You guys.
Guys, when I heard NBA All Access, I went, okay, what the hell does that mean? All Access. You know, they say that when guys are mic'd up, and then you go to it, and it's like a guy going, screen left. Yeah. Switch. You know, it's nothing entertaining at all.
No. And even when I saw how ESPN opened the game with Michael Malone doing the walk and talk out of the tunnel and everything,
About
I'm
what
like,
a coach is dealing with.
yeah. I was just like, okay, they're trying a little hard right now.
No.
Where are they going to go with this?
Shout out
better.
to Kenny Atkinson for buying into this.
Yep.
They were going live in his huddles during a timeout. Live. The second he sat down with his team to start talking about things with the clipboard or the iPad he had, literally you could hear everything. You could hear players,
He said
coaches.
shit?
Yeah. And I
He
went,
said shit.
this could change the game.
Yep.
And of course, we're NBA homers here. We want the league to do well. I love the NBA, love the WNBA. I love basketball in general, but you want to see the game evolve and the broadcast evolve. What better way to evolve the broadcast than take access to another level and being able to listen in? It doesn't have to be every timeout,
Sure.
but being able to listen throughout a broadcast to a live coaches huddle. The fact that we could listen in right when the official put the headset on to talk to the replay center in Secaucus, you could hear the two-way communication between
Transparency.
the officials in the replay center in Secaucus and on this at the side of the game. It was incredible access.
Transparency, though. That's the other thing. It's just like the integrity of the game seems to be getting lost with all sports betting, with so many, and this goes for other sports too. And it's like, if you can, it's not about trying to do things to prove to fans we're not lying even when we talk back to each other. No. But it's about giving that access, and especially when it's not something dangerous. Because I even was challenging Deuce on the Kenny Atkinson thing. I loved everything he said. And what big was he talking to again?
Thomas Bryant.
And like, the way that those two were talking to one another, like, am I slashing off the screen? Am I going here? It was just so beautiful. It would just gave you, because then it made you excited too. Like, you're going to see this next play be run or this next action be done. But the thing that I was challenging Deuce on, I was like, gosh, this is so tough. Like, what if a coach ever says something dumb and then it screws with their job, because that's what social media does. And Deuce is like, everyone needs to stop being scared. Just stop being fucking scared and let things happen. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Because like, at the end of the day, like, even this, I guess, social media fan pressure can happen anyway, whether we have access in that huddle or not. So it's like, fuck it. Let that huddle happen. Let that access happen. It made the broadcast more entertaining. It was so cool to see, and I want to see it more.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. And the counter would be like, yeah, but what if a coach looks bad? I mean, guess what? We watch players mess up all the time when they're playing a game and they're being vulnerable, and we get to see that too. So, yeah, if a coach makes a mistake, yeah, we get to acknowledge it. Or there's a great moment, or there's a great moment of communication. Yeah. But it's, again, you're not having to do it every single huddle or anything like that. It's just a glimpse inside that I think is so important. And you're right, the transparency, but it's also insightful. Like, oh wow, Thomas Bryant really communicating well with Kenny Atkinson and Jalen Tyson about something.
But and they draw the line too, where like Kenny Atkinson and his coaches are first huddling up before they go to the team huddle, and you hear Ryan. I think, was it Ryan Ruocco on that game too?
Yeah.
So Ryan Ruocco and Michael Malone, and they were kind of patting before Kenny Atkinson was getting to the team huddle, because they couldn't actually start playing the mic and what he was saying until he gets to the team huddle. So like, they have boundaries too, where they're like, okay, we're not going to let, their entire strategy be told here, but instead get it to the huddle. Michael Malone did a great job of explaining it too on the broadcast. Yeah. Loved it.
In the chat, Sydney says the NBL has had live timeouts for a while. It's hit or miss on the quality.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that too. I'm sure sometimes it's not that great, but I just think the more you could show the inside stuff of what makes the game goes such a long way for fans.
Because the broadcast, by the way, did screw up another challenge or whatever that they were trying to do when they were talking to Secaucus, and they came back from break from it, and they had a double box, and it was just like, we don't even need the transparency. We want to see the game being called right now and everything else. So yeah, there's things that they still have to tweak.
Definitely. But overall, I've been enjoying watching some of these games around the league, and it reminds me that, I still love this game. Well, I'm just saying, because when you watch the Kings every single night, like in a year like this, it's tough, and, I'm in a good spot right now.
I know.
Okay. There are things, of course, that I want to see different. Like, and we've talked about them so many times. Like, start Nique Clifford. Hell, start Devin Carter right now. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to see these young guys do their thing. But my perspective is like, just try. Like, at a game like tonight, am I going to be worked up because they lost to the Lakers?
No.
Like, of course they lost to the Lakers, but at least we saw something good with Nique Clifford tonight.
For sure.
There were good things that happened in this game.
But I think what else is really fun, honestly, like having these conversations with you on our podcast. Like, I mean, we've done a lot more of like going around the NBA and everything in this season, because there is so many more exciting things going around the NBA. And talking about this did get me excited for playoff basketball.
Dude.
Like, so excited. I'm super excited for WNBA basketball. Obviously, I want them to figure everything else. So I feel like, okay, we know when that's starting, we can get pumped and amped for that. But like playoff basketball right now, I am like looking forward to the end of this season, not because Kings end, but because this shit starts.
I'm looking at the teams in it right now. You got Detroit, Boston, New York, Cavs, Toronto, Philly in the top 6. The play-in, of course, Miami, Atlanta's are going to be. Atlanta will be in the play-in. Orlando, Miami, Atlanta, Charlotte. Dude, we need Charlotte to get into the playoffs this year. How fun would it be if Charlotte was in the playoffs?
That'd be fun.
Oh, dear
Down for
God.
that ride.
And the West, it's OKC, San Antonio, Houston, Minnesota, Denver, the Lakers in the top 6 with the Suns, Warriors, Clippers, Blazers in the play-in. That play-in doesn't excite me as much. But I'll tell you, watching Minnesota, God, I used this example to you recently about Anthony Edwards, and I think it's the perfect example.
What did you say?
His last week has just been hilarious. I mean, he had that one play against the Clippers on the road where, Finch is telling him to pass it, and then the next play, he's like, dribble, buries his crazy S3, and then he starts talking shit to Chris Finch. It's just great. And those two have a good relationship, so yeah, it works. But Anthony Edwards, he reminds me of the high school student who could be like a 4.0 honor roll student, but doesn't really care that much to try to do it all the time.
Get degrees kind of thing.
Yeah. But just brilliant.
Yeah.
But like a 3.0 student.
Yeah.
And you watch him sometimes and you're like, oh my God, it is special. And right now I feel like he's on a really good run. In this game, he ends up 9-19. He had 21 points in the road win over the Denver Nuggets. But when he is an ace, when he applies himself to the fullest, it's such a special player. He is such a special talent. Like the confidence, the swagger, the shot making.
Yeah. No, it's
the fearlessness.
It's magical. It's special. It's all the things that make stars so exciting to watch. I mean, you say the fearlessness, but like the ability to execute at that level with hands in his face and all the different things. Yeah, he's really fun to watch.
This season averaging just under 30 points a game, 50% shooting, 40% from 3, by the way.
24 years old.
24, dude. He's gonna be he's gonna be that straight A student at some point too. He just has fun sometimes. I think,
and he's himself.
That's why I keep comparing him to like a high school student in this regard, because throughout high school year when you're just, oh my God, you're just over it. You're just bored. I think he thrives in like intense competition when it's like it's playoff time.
Yeah,
it's this time. It's a big game. So
big test.
He's fun, dude.
He is. Excited for it all.
Yeah, the West is going to be fascinating. I can't wait. The playoffs are going to be here around the corner. Final thoughts. Yeah. I got a final thought.
Whoa, that's what you're going to do. What?
Happy birthday, Chris Webber.
Oh, my God.
53 years old today. And when I saw he's 53, I'm like, my God, dude. Like, what?
I know.
And I know there's also a huge portion of our audience that's like, I'm sorry, you guys mentioned these guys like Chris Webber, and like I didn't see them play. Like, whatever. Chris Webber, I know you were obsessed with growing up. But like Sacramento was obsessed with too. Like the best player to ever play in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Chris Webber, and the winning, the talent.
The joy that he played with, the passion, the team that
he's always going to be one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
Always.
No, I love that. That will be part of my final thought, because I even said on the broadcast because we brought it up. And, the thing I always go to is like everyone at that time of my life, at that age, little girls obsessed with NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, like Justin Timberlake. When I say I was obsessed with Chris Webber, like I was so in love with him. I didn't like Tyra Banks because he was dating her at one point. Like I was in love. Like he was on my wall. I would do the newspaper clippings.
The
newspaper.
snarl.
I still have that in one of my memory boxes, like clipped. And I'm upset. It was obsessed with him. I am obsessed with him because he helped shape my love for this game that I still have so much joy and love and passion for. And the fact that I fell in love with the player that I was a fan of the team too.
Yeah.
It just all goes together. What a special time. Happy birthday, Chris Webber.
Hall of Famer.
Ugh.
All right, we'll be back
Love you.
live again Tuesday night, late night after the Kings and Suns game. It's an 8 p.m. tip-off, so yeah, late night pod.
Join us.
We'll see you then. We love you guys, but we gots to go.
You all have a wonderful rest of your night. See ya.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.